What's going on, friends? It's Anton Daniels, and I gotta have a conversation with you guys about Tiege Hanley because you see how the sun is hitting me. This is no finesse, no makeup, no filters, no none of that. This is 100% Tiege Hanley. I use it in the morning as soon as I get up, right after I pray and brush my teeth, jump in the shower, and I'm hitting the streets because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So even though they're giving you 40% off your first order, 20% off for life, even though you may get a free gift, forget all that, right? Because we would do this even if it was full price because it's worth that much. I'm in the streets, I'm kicking it with people when I see Dusties everywhere. You don't want to be them. You want to separate yourself. And the way that you separate yourself is self-care. Ladies get it for the fellas. Fellas don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. I'm about to hit the streets right now and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling great. I mean, I already got confidence, but to have that extra boost of confidence, knowing that you've taken care of yourself and you set yourself apart from all of the rest of the sheep that's walking around making bad decisions on a daily basis. And it's reflected in their actions. It's reflected in the products that they use. It's reflected in the people that they follow. And so if you're trying to level up, if you're trying to make sure that you look good, they're going to send you the pack. They're going to give you all of the instructions on how you're supposed to use it. Then make sure you get your Tiege Hanley. Again, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Get your free gift. Make sure you tap in with your boy Anton Daniels because Unc is never going to lead you wrong. I would never have you use a product that I don't use myself. Again, they've been rocking with me for a long time. Make sure you get your Tiege Hanley. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. What's going on? Is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What's up to all of my friends and family? How y'all feeling on this Tuesday, March 18th, 2025, year of our Lord. What's up, all of my friends? There I go. Like Mystical said, there I go. What up, y'all? Okay, see Chase in the bag. Y'all got my algorithm about a week ago. What up to all of my friends and family? I appreciate y'all. I have a Patreon exclusive video coming out on the morrow. Tomorrow. Patreon exclusive video. This one is a little bit different. I'm going to deeper dive into the content. I have 4 channels that I'm visible on, 7 that I own total, because I am invested in some other channels that are doing really, really well, and I play a huge role in that. So my company technically owns 7 channels, 4 that I'm visible on, and I'm thinking about starting a 5th. As crazy as that sounds, no, I am not crazy. I have a system. I have a way in which I am absolutely positively leveraging content creation and social media in order to, increase my social proof. So the one thing that we do inside of the Patreon is we do not withhold information. We absolutely, positively want to make sure that we give you all of the information. I am not a gatekeeper, but I do have to filter out, the dusties, and that's why we have to make sure that we create a barrier to entry. And so if you're looking to level up, if you're looking to get all of the information, we do Block Club. I give you all of the information on real estate. I give you all of the information on how you can life hack, how you can start certain businesses and become incredibly profitable, how you need to budget your money, how you can interview like a king and level up in corporate America. We got Stock Club live stream coming up. And now I am deep diving further into content creation. So if you want to understand how I still get 8 hours of sleep, go out and party almost every single day, and those of you that now get the behind the scenes look of what my life is like on that other channel, we just gonna keep that a secret. Don't worry about it. Y'all can share it if y'all want to. I don't care. But y'all get to get the behind the scenes look of how it is that I'm moving on my other channel, and so you see what my life is like, while at the same time being 10 times more productive than any content creator that you've ever seen in your entire life. Then make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Again, we do not gatekeep information. If you want to get the insight, then it's there. We got after hours tonight. We had the Q show last night. Boy, was it a crazy show on the Q show last night. Hey, listen, when I release this Patreon video tomorrow, it might have to be a series, because if I try to jam pack every single thing into one video, then you're not going to retain the information because it's too much information. So I'm going to segment it. I'm going to break it down. I'm going to make it digestible. I'm going to make sure that you guys retain information. And so I'm very much aware of the UX, the user experience from your perspective of how you need to consume it so that you can retain it. But if you're looking to get the real information on how to level up, yes, I do show my receipts. Yes, I show my 1099s. Yes, I do make millions of dollars every single year with regard to content creation, sponsorships, all of that. So if you want the information, it's going to be there. If you don't, then keep doing what you're doing and cool. Nobody is going to bother you. Nobody is going to trip. Nobody's going to try to convince you to do otherwise. It's up to you. It's up to you. So yeah, man, make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Also, Tiege Hanley, 40% off your first order. Longtime sponsor of the show. We've had a phenomenal relationship. Tiege Hanley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off of life. Anybody that is not a part of the Tiege family, you need to do so. It is an awesome product. Come on, ladies, get it for your man and then don't even withhold yourself. It's great for you also. Let me read some of these cash apps and then we're going to go from there. Let's see what we got here. Shout out to my dog, Mike That Dude. I appreciate you, Mike That Dude. You are one of the most consistent people I've ever met in my entire life. I also want to say shout out to Rand Wilson. Rand Wilson says, YouTuber P2 found dead in the mailroom. Who's P2? P2, A-Town Down. Let me see who P2 is. YouTuber P2. P2, huh? Let's see. P2. Yeah, 3.87 million subscribers. Wow. How did he pass away? Let me see something.
The YouTube community is in mourning. Per TMZ, popular YouTuber P2 is the name, whose real name is Philip Onawali, was found dead in a mailroom on Friday, March 14th, according to the Los Angeles County coroner. He was 26 years old. TMZ reports that they spoke with Philip's mother, who confirmed the news of his passing.
That's crazy.
Privacy at this time. As of now, there are no further details on his death.
He's only 26 years old.
Social media users shared kind words for the late content creator, with his fellow YouTuber Cole the Man writing.
Man, that's messed up. 26 years old. Wow. Wow. I mean, he seemed like a pretty cool content creator. It don't look like he was doing nothing pretty crazy. Looked like he did a lot of hair videos. Wow, that's crazy. Well, listen, I don't know how you make sense of this. I don't know what to say on this situation. Make sure y'all got y'all affairs in order, bro. Live every day like it's your last. Make sure you got your affairs in order. Get your life insurance straight. If you don't have life insurance, then make sure you got enough money so that your family is straight and they don't have problems burying you. Man, that's crazy. Y'all said Fenty? Y'all said overdose Fenty? Prank gone wrong? I don't know, Molly. I don't know. But yeah, man. Make sure y'all get y'all affairs in order and take care of business. We don't want to hear that. We don't like to see that happening. Lord, bless us not to have early deaths. Bless us to grow into old age, to be absolutely, positively in good health the entire time. I was in the gym last night. Not last night, yesterday afternoon. Y'all will see that on the vlog that's getting released today. I was in the gym. I'm in the gym every single Monday through Friday now. Eating different, making sure that our health catch up to our wealth, because although our health is cool, we want it to be exceptional just like our pockets, all right? So make sure y'all take care of yourselves. Go to the doctor. Go to the doctor. A lot of people like to skip doctor's appointment. Men at least once a year, twice a year preferably, but at least once a year. Make sure y'all get all of y'all checkups, whatever those are. Go to the doctor, man. Go to the doctor. Man, that's crazy. Anyways, I don't like to hear that, but we definitely want to make sure that everybody is in good health. He was only 26 years old. 26 years old? You got your whole life ahead of you. You don't even know who you are until you're 30. All right. Anton just paid for a meal plan. Man, I'm not paying for no meal plan. Listen, just because you got resources don't mean that you have to pay a whole bunch of money for everything. I'm not doing that. I got a kitchen, I got a stove, we got restaurants, and just because you go to the restaurant don't mean that you got to eat unhealthy. You can eat right. Make sure you operate with a caloric deficit, fast, intermittent fasting on a regular basis, go into ketosis. Listen, it's too much information. It's too much information. Everything don't need to be paid for. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to buy a meal plan. You ain't got to do none of that. All you got to do is cook. You know what I'm saying? Like they got you can go to the store, they got Instacart, get your groceries delivered, eat healthy. The information ain't hidden from you. I don't I don't need to I don't need no meal plan. I'm not paying y'all for every single thing. I'm not about to do that. I do, sometimes I'll be thinking to myself, um, thinking about getting a private chef, but I don't know, neither here nor there. Again, rest in peace to him. We don't like to hear that. And, we good. We good. I see somebody, Primetime says, get your wife to cook for you. Y'all don't know how to cook for yourself? I'm just asking because I know that we have a lot of conversations, and we're going to go ahead and get into the show. I know that we have a lot of conversations about the benefits of women and a wife, and I'm not saying that they don't add value into your life, but I don't necessarily need a woman to cook for me. Is it a cool thing to have? Cool. I ain't tripping about it. I don't need a woman to clean up after me. My apartments, my houses, whatever it is that I stay in, it's not dirty. My studio is not dirty. Do y'all still need women to cook for you to be healthy, or for somebody to clean up after you, or to clean up your bathrooms and stuff like that for you? Like, I know how to do it myself. Y'all don't know how to do it yourself? Y'all act like y'all handicap if somebody don't come in and take care of. Oh, let me cook for you. Come on, man. I can cook for myself. Man, I done owned whole restaurants. Y'all don't know how to cook for yourself? Anyways, again, make sure I'm trying, Carmen. I'm trying, Carmen. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel with turning your notifications. I want to acknowledge Jim Short. Jim Short with the 20 ball says, Morning Bag Chasers, it's my 26th birthday. And what better gift to myself than finalizing the purchase of my home? All thanks to the Most High. God bless you. Congratulations. Just a piece of advice. Try to pay it off. If you are financing it, try to pay it off in 10. Make sure you throw everything you can at that principal, not the interest, the principal, and then you pay it off in 10. Just because you get it financed for 30 or 15 don't mean that you can't pay it off in 10. Every tax return, every bonus, you got to pick up a second job. It'll be worth it in the end. You'll own it completely. The only thing you'll have to pay is utilities, property taxes, and insurance. And you'll be set for the rest of you. Then you'll really be able to live. You know what I'm saying? The unlocking of your life really comes when you get rid of that house note. That should be the ultimate goal for a lot of people. It shouldn't just be getting out of debt. It should be getting out of all debt. Just because you financing a home don't mean that that's good debt. That's not the definition of good debt. Get that house paid off now, all right? All right? Kicking it with a chef, you be surprised men looking for their mamas. Man, listen. We gonna get it. We gonna live healthy. We not gonna be stressed out. We gonna keep our blood pressure down. We gonna limit the amount of carbs and sugar that we take in, and we gonna live life. We gonna enjoy life. We gonna travel, have a good time. We gonna have good sex. We gonna have great experiences. We gonna make a lot of money. We gonna go and do all of the things that we want to do. We gonna be toxic. We gonna be not so toxic. And we gonna learn the lessons and have a good time. All right. All right, y'all. Let's continue to get to it. Mr. Lot says, question, bro. How do you balance being social, aka going out to restaurant bars, with eating healthy? just because you go out to a restaurant and a bar does not mean that you have to eat anything. If you listen, let me tell you something about white people. This is one of the things that I learned about white people. White people go to the bar to drink. 9 times out of 10, they don't even order food. Most of the time, black people, and I'm not saying that white people don't order food at the bar, but when they go to the restaurant, and 9 times out of 10, when y'all go to a restaurant, don't go sit in the booth, go sit at the bar. It allows for you to be more social. All right? They don't order food. They go there to socialize and to drink. A lot of times, women that be in a cocktail dress, they go there to get drinks offered to them. Watch people. Watch people. Just watch them. Sometimes they go to kick it and watch the game and to be social and talk to people around them and all of that stuff. They don't be going and ordering a whole bunch of food. Man, I am a people watcher all the time. I pay attention to people's habits. I look at the social structure. I look at the thing that black people do. I look at the thing that white people do. Or if they order food, they'll order one thing and then they'll share it. They'll order a finger food or something and then they'll share it. I'm telling you, a lot of people, yep, you're right, Jadar. Some people eat before they even go out. And then they just go and they sip drinks or whatever, so on and so forth. They be chilling. They be chilling. And that way they just be social, interacting with people, ha 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 ha, whatever. Most people that go to the bar, they don't order food. They just order drinks. You know, Anaka. You know. So you don't have to order whatever is on the menu just because you're there. You going out to be social to be social. The drink is the complement to whatever it is that you got going on. You just want to have something in your hand. You don't even have to drink nothing. Get you a diet something or Coke Zero or water or, you know what I'm saying? Get a little light cranberry juice if you just want to get a cranberry juice. But people going to sit there and tease you. I know most women, they act like they drinking and they don't even get no drink. They be getting a mocktail. Bruh, these women that be acting like they really drinking, they got a mocktail. That's not even a real drink. They just sipping on something. You gonna pay for the real drink. She gonna get a mocktail or she gonna get a water and then she gonna wait. And then she gonna order a mocktail and then she gonna wait with no alcohol in it. And then you gonna come up and she gonna be sipping on whatever it is that she's sipping on. If you buy her a drink, yep, a glass of wine or something like that, she gonna sip on that all night. She ain't even tripping off of that. Telling you. I'm telling you. You gonna pay for the food. Brian, you laughing. I'm telling you it's a real thing. And you don't have to be drunk just because you go to the bar. You don't have to be drunk just because you go to the bar. Real talk. Anyways, let me go ahead and read the rest of these super chats and then we're going to continue on with the show. Question, shout out to Mr. Lotta. I appreciate you. Thank you, my friend. Sidebar, Jazz gave me flashbacks on his victim mentality blame game. Shout out to Chris Cunningham. Big One M Dub says, are you Mr. Aiden? Shout out to Big One M Dub. I see you didn't caught the vlog. Anyways, make sure that's a secret vlog. The secret vlog site is for those that's really, really into what it is that I'm doing. You know, Anton Daniels channel, Millionaire Morning Show, After Hours. Those are all for the public. The other stuff, that's for the people that really know. If you know, you know. All right, make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's go ahead and get into the show. So first things first, we want to do quick hits. Quick hits is a segment of the show that we don't necessarily think that we need to make a whole segment into each individual video, but we definitely want to keep y'all in the loop on what's going on in these streets. First things first, lots of protests that are gaining steam with Tesla. All right. All of these liberals, they running outside of the Tesla dealerships and they're protesting. Check it out.
Protesters continue to rally outside of Tesla showrooms all across the country and also here at home amid heightened criticism over Elon Musk's role with Doge. And now some Tesla owners in one Venice neighborhood say they woke up to find concerning letters in their mailboxes.
Yeah, Rachel Menitoff is live in Venice tonight, where she spoke with one of those Tesla owners who received a letter. Rachel.
Rick, Karine, there are at least two people here on Glendon Avenue who got one of these handwritten letters telling them to get rid of their Teslas. One of the recipients tells me she is offended by this letter. She feels violated. As it happens, she says she is not a fan of Elon Musk, but she bought her Tesla back in 2019. It's paid off, and it's not as though she can get rid of it entirely. We do have video of the letter that Abby Berman received in her mailbox over the weekend. It's written by a woman named Rebecca, and it says, quote, "Dear neighbor, won't you please consider getting rid of your Tesla vehicle? The message you are sending at this point is, quote, I am a Nazi too." And the return address, as it happens, is a fake one.
I'm not an Elon fan. I'm not a Trump fan. I'm disgusted by the state of the world and, what's going on. It keeps me up at night. But there's better ways to handle it than sending a, very offensive letter. Come talk to me. Let's figure out other ways of, dealing with it.
White people, can I give y'all a piece of advice? Almost did a review video yesterday of a white woman that is on TikTok, social media, being an apologist. Black people, it's not my fault, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then I see white people always wanting to have a conversation. Man, listen, bro. If y'all keep getting bullied and giving in to the pressure, if you don't stand on whatever it is that you stand on, the nerve of you. But y'all don't have nothing else better to do than to go by and drive by people's addresses, write them down, and then mail fake letters over to their homes and their apartments, asking them why did they buy the cars that they buy? First of all, I thought that all of y'all were EV enthusiasts. I thought that y'all was tree huggers. I thought that y'all really wanted to embrace the Green New Deal from the Biden administration. I thought that y'all loved protecting in the environment and wanted to make sure that we got rid of fossil fuels and our dependency on other countries and subsidizing what it is that they're doing from a profitability perspective and make sure that we're not fracking and no more fracking in Pennsylvania. I thought that y'all were tree huggers. I thought that y'all wanted to make sure that our environments were cleaner and our air to breathe and make sure that we don't breed any food for human consumption because cows fart and that's the methane gas that goes into the air. I thought that y'all didn't want to do none of that. Y'all don't have nothing better to do. You bored, boy. You ain't got nothing better to do with your life than to drive around and write handwritten letters. You know how much effort it takes to do a handwritten letter? I don't even know how long ago I done wrote a handwritten letter. Bruh, you ain't got nothing better to do. Nothing better to do? Y'all standing out there protesting. This is why y'all keep getting fired. This is why you ain't got no job. This is why they call Americans lazy, because you are standing outside of a Tesla dealership and it's always white people, always paid actors, always a bunch of y'all that truly want to embrace your femininity and your masculinity and and my daughter is gay and I can't believe that they're firing us from the Department of Government Efficiency, and I really thought and I believed in what I was doing with my geology degree and I studied rocks and I really wanted to help the people over there in Africa. You ain't got nothing better to do. You see they're not doing that over in the hood. We park our Cybertrucks and our Teslas on the lawn. Don't even think twice about it. They not driving through and asking y'all for nothing. That's because they know that they can bully y'all. That's because they know that they can bully y'all. Boy, if you don't buy what you want to buy, and it's funny because I never see them asking people not to buy foreign cars that are benefiting off of American consumers and take advantage of our economy, but they want to go against the anti-American thing because we hate Trump. I can't, please get rid of your Tesla vehicle. Man, I will run you over. I will run you over. See, they do that with y'all because they know that y'all easy to bully. They know that y'all easy to bully. I can't wait to see a protest and a rally outside of a Tesla network over in my. I'm pulling right over. I'm gonna pull my camera out. I'm gonna have my camera on me, and I'm gonna make $1 million off of that vehicle because I'm gonna get out the car. I dare you to throw some paint on my car. I dare you. I triple dog dare you to throw some paint on my car. Throw a bead, throw a rock, throw one thing at my car. Keep on being apologetic to these people, these terrorists, these anarchists. Do it. I dare you, Susan. And it just so happened to be the girl's name is Rebecca.
These ominous and disturbing letters coincide with protests against Elon Musk and, by extension, one of his most well-known companies, Tesla. Here's a look at a demonstration today in Culver City where activists are urging people to boycott the EV car company. They're protesting his wide-scale government cuts and his role within President Trump's White House. But they made clear today they do not.
I'm about to order another Tesla today. I, honest to God, think I am about to order another Tesla today just because. I might even do a giveaway, a Tesla giveaway to a bag chaser or something. I might do a giveaway just because. Just because. What?
Not condone intimidation tactics or threats toward current Tesla owners.
Look. Look at him. Y'all have lost the country. We gonna save y'all from yourselves though. Anyways, in addition to that, foolishness, these people ain't got nothing better to do. I know when you go back off of your life and you think about it and you say, man, what was my life like? And you were sitting out there protesting over some dumb junk. And you could have been doing something else. You could have been getting some box. You could have been watching TV. You could have been out partying. You could have been out for St. Patrick's Day yesterday. But you was over here mailing letters to people that don't care nothing about you.
This morning, President Trump gearing up for today's high-stakes call with Russia's President Putin. Trump striking a confident tone yesterday.
We're going to see if we can work a peace agreement, a ceasefire and peace, and I think we'll be able to do it.
Putin says he supports the idea of a ceasefire, but his conditions have included guarantees Ukraine will disarm and not join an alliance, which would leave Ukraine vulnerable, Kyiv says. And the White House is talking one-on-one with Russia about Ukrainian territory and assets. Zelensky last night accusing Putin of prolonging the war to gain more concessions. Saying for a week now, Putin has been unable to muster a simple yes. Just this week in Kursk, Russia
can we
has
get
seized...
Zelensky to shut up for 5 seconds? If he was able to get anything done and he was able to get a ceasefire from the beginning, we wouldn't need Trump inside of the White House in the United States of America. We need Zelensky to get off social media for 5 seconds. Just be quiet. That's all we want. Trump is going to make the phone call today. He's scheduled to talk to Putin. And hopefully we can get some kind of framework of a ceasefire so we can get a longer term deal. The last thing we need is Zelensky, a dancer. We don't need him doing anything else except for shutting up. Just shut up. It's the reason you got kicked out of the Oval Office in the first. Somebody take his microphone and take his camera away from him. Just shut up for 5 seconds and let us handle this.
Back land. And this morning, for the first time, NBC News reached scarred Russian territory once held by Ukraine. Thousands died on both sides, Ukraine losing a valuable bargaining chip. This remains of an American Humvee is as far as the Ukrainians got. For 7 months, they held hundreds of miles of territory in that direction. It was all for nothing. Vladimir, who didn't want us to use his last name, is a Russian military volunteer. Ukrainians have destroyed Russian villages. Russians have destroyed many Ukrainian villages. Do you think there should be a ceasefire now? Every war is terrible, he says. We don't need this. The US doesn't need it. Ukraine doesn't need it. Despite that sentiment, there are so many challenges ahead. One example, talk that the Zaporizhia nuclear plant that is Ukrainian could stay in Russian hands. That would be complex and deeply, deeply controversial.
Hopefully Trump can get this framework done. I think that he's able to secure this ceasefire and then ultimately a peace deal that he would be heralded as quite possibly one of the greatest presidents of all time, even while he's still president of the United States of America. And then last but not least, I've been monitoring this story. I haven't talked about it here on the Millionaire Morning Show, but I've been monitoring this story of this young woman who she's a college woman, and I guess she went over to the Dominican Republic or something like that. But long story short, she was declared missing, and now her family is basically, after this long manhunt of trying to find out exactly how she went missing, her family is basically trying to get Dominican authorities to declare her deceased. Check it out.
The latest on the American college student who vanished on spring break. Her parents now asking Dominican police to declare her deceased, as lawyers for the last person to hear demand to see her demand he be released. Ariel Reshev is in the Dominican Republic. Good morning, Ariel.
Good morning to you, George. Just a heartbreaking development overnight in this case. The family of Tiege Hanley acknowledging that she likely drowned, hoping to put an end to this painful chapter. And now the attorneys for Joshua Reeby have filed a motion in local court here trying to get him released so he can go back home.
This morning, the family of college student Tiege Hanley, who vanished while on spring break in the Dominican Republic, acknowledging they believe she died. ABC News obtaining this formal written request to the Dominican police. The family asking for a legal declaration of death. Hanley's parents also stating they trust the authorities' investigation. The letter saying the Hanleys believe the last person who saw their daughter has cooperated with the investigation and that there is no evidence of foul play. Authorities say they believe Joshua Reeby was with Hanley before she vanished. Officials have long said she likely drowned. Reeby's attorneys demanding authorities in the Dominican Republic release the 22-year-old, who they say is being held illegally and surveilled in his hotel during the investigation. His team filing a motion urging a judge to order officials to return his passport and allow him to go back to the U.S. Overnight, community members of Reeby's hometown in Iowa saying Josh and his family are well loved and he exemplifies compassion, respect, and integrity.
Now, here in the Dominican Republic, officials are not allowed to detain anyone without charges for more than 48 hours. Reeby's attorneys say that time is up. A judge could make a decision about his release today.
I don't have an opinion on this situation one way or another. What I will say is this: rules are in place to protect you. Rules are in place to protect you, and that's not just going overseas. That's not just going to the Dominican Republic. That's anywhere. That's in your home city. That's traveling to the United States of America. Ladies, stop stepping outside of a man's coverage, number one. Number two, make sure that you are very vigilant. When I had that conversation a couple weeks ago on my platform where I was saying that I am absolutely, positively protective, and I make sure that my daughter operates under my rules, it is for her protection, not my own protection. It is not because I am demanding and all of this other type of stuff. The worst thing that you can do is go off on spring break thinking that you're going to have fun, and then you never come back, and then you got to try to figure it out without a body about what happened to her. And there's no clue whatsoever. She could have drowned. She could be out here getting trafficked. Something could have happened to her. Nobody knows. Nobody knows whatsoever. They have no clue how this woman just vanished. Oh, she just randomly drowned. Be careful, y'all. Be careful, y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, that's your quick hits, all right? Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let me read a few of these super chats, and then we're going to continue on with the show and get it started. Nichelle says, so she paid off her Tesla, and her broke neighbor with a $1,000 car note, probably facing foreclosure, is writing an anonymous letter about her moral compass. We live in strange times. Facts. She should have had a Ring camera on her house so she can see who exactly what it was. Well, I guess they mailed it, so real cowards. Duran Lee says, meanwhile, these protesters slept. Elon went and got those astronauts. Biden left high and dry. Talk about it. Talk about it. They don't want to talk about that. Raider Gang says, Dems got selective memory. I'm old enough to know Ukraine is one of the most racist places for black people in the world. The fact Democrats suppressed this and finessed USA into this is wild. I agree. Thank you, Raider Gaines. I appreciate you for holding me down. And thank you to everybody that contributes into the platform. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Also, make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. All right, let's get to it, y'all. Trump. So, we are familiar with the fact that Trump has invoked an act that allows for him to basically declare these migrant gangs that have been terrorizing the United States of America as an invasion, right? A long, dusty act that has now been invoked. And so basically what Trump and the Trump administration is doing is saying that, hey guys, we need to, by any means necessary, deploy all of the tools, all of the tactics, all of the resources that we have to make sure that we protect American citizens, even though the people that came before us neglected to do so. And so he invoked this act, and using this act, he was also deporting illegal gangs. Now, again, these are not just regular taxpaying citizens. These are not people that even came over here illegally and is still doing the right thing or trying to do the right thing or whatever, trying to finesse their way inside of the United States of America. These are the people that were taking over the apartment buildings over there in Aurora and Colorado. These are the people that were kicking police officers over in New York. These are the gang members that had ties over to Chicago. These are the people that have been murdering people like Lake and Riley. These are the worst of the worst, possibly have been released from the prisons to come over here in the United States of America like Trump has been talking about for a long time. And the first thing that they did, the first thing that liberals did, the first thing that the ACLU did was file a lawsuit to then have a judge invoke putting a restraining order for Trump to not deport these illegal migrants, even though they were already in the air. So the judge was asking the Trump administration to do what? Turn the plane around. Don't land them over in El Salvador. Don't deport these people. They belong here in the United States of America. They have rights too. So this is a summary of what was happening, and I want to get it from both sides. I'm going to get it from both Fox News, CNN, and then we're going to come to a conclusion.
Back here at home, there were 261 illegal MS-13 gang members, some MS-13 ringleaders. Donald Trump is calling them terrorists because many of them don't have America's best interest in mind, and they're here illegally. So he puts them on planes, he sends them to El Salvador, and in the middle of those flights, a judge says, no, you have to stop, you have to turn these planes around. And then Donald Trump says, well, they're not in American airspace anymore, so it's too little too late. The judge is now giving Donald Trump until noon today to file briefings and to answer these 4 questions. Do you want to read these questions?
Yeah, so he has a few questions. He says that he wants to know how many planes departed the United States at any point on Saturday carrying any people being deported solely on the basis of this proclamation. He also wants to know how many people in the category were on each plane, what foreign country or countries did these planes land in, and what time did these planes take off from the United States. And
what country are we living in now, y'all? I didn't even know that judges had this amount of power in which they can demand this type of information from the President of the United States of America. I am flabbergasted. How many planes departed the U.S. on Saturday carrying and the people being deported solely on the basis of this proclamation? So this new act that Trump has invoked. How many people in that category were on each plane? Now remember, I want you to remember that we're talking about illegal migrants that are basically terrorizing the United States of America. What foreign country or countries did these planes land in? And what time did these planes take off from the United States of America and from where? We need to start having the identity of these judges revealed ASAP so we can know exactly what is going on. Again, these people hate the United States of America and Trump more than they love themselves.
And from where?
Well, and here's the thing. This all came to a head on Saturday night, and it is because late Saturday, just before the flights took off, apparently the ACLU and another group sued the federal government, and they went before the judge, and they started talking about what to do. And
they did it, and here's the thing. They did it within 2 hours of Trump invoking this act. They were able to, fam. I had a buddy that got into a domestic dispute probably like 2 weeks ago. Had a buddy that got into a domestic dispute over 2 weeks ago. And my brother called me and he said, hey, man, did you hear about such and such and such and such? I said, what happened? He said, yeah, man, he wound up going to jail on Friday. He's not going to be able to get out till Monday. You can't even get out of jail. You can't even see a judge to get bail. At least here in Michigan, you can't. You can't even see a judge to get bail and within 48 hours of getting arrested on the weekend. They was in front of a judge within 2 hours. 2 hours. Man, you not telling me that the judges is not working in concerted effort and they have a bias against the Trump administration? Ain't no way in hell. We can't even get immigration judges. We can't get nothing passed through. We can't even speed up the process to get these immigration judges to work faster or nothing. And the ACLU was able to get in front of a judge. You can't get a warrant. You can't get a warrant to go and kick in somebody's door that's selling Fenty in 24 hours. They were in front of a judge with a restraining order to prevent Trump from being able to deport illegal migrants that are gang members across the United States of America to El Salvador within 2 hours. 2 hours.
The judge issued an order from the bench. It was an oral order. He said, okay, turn those planes around. And now the White House says, well, it wasn't until it didn't take effect essentially until the written order came out. So right now it's all about the timeline and stuff. Ultimately, what the judge wants to know is whether or not that original lawsuit where the ACLU filed against the federal government to keep 5 Venezuelans off the plane. He wants to know whether or not those people went on the plane. From what I've read, it sounds like they did not make the trip. And so that should satisfy him. And ultimately, the federal government has broad latitude when it comes to enforcing immigration and stuff like this. So it'll be interesting to see what happens today.
And remember who this judge is. He's an Obama-appointed judge who actually gave Kleinsmith. He was the guy who made up the whole FISA warrant, reversed what it actually meant, and allowed Carter Page to be surveilled illegally.
An Obama-appointed judge. It all makes sense now. Even in judges, politics say and play a role. Judges are supposed to be impartial. Judges are supposed to make sure that they insert verdicts and that they make rulings based off of law, not necessarily how they feel or whether or not you were appointed by Obama. This is a D.C. area Obama-appointed judge that's basically opposing Trump. Boy, you Democrats, you got everything in your arsenal. Okay, so now it makes sense how he was able to get in front of a judge within 2 hours. Let's get it from CNN's perspective, from the liberal perspective, to make sure that we're looking at it holistically and then we can draw a conclusion.
Tonight here in Washington, there is a tone of defiance coming from the White House as a federal judge is still waiting on answers from a Justice Department that doesn't seem eager to provide them following that testy court hearing today. Now, all of this started when President Trump invoked a rarely used wartime law called the Alien Enemies Act to deport hundreds of alleged members of a Venezuelan gang from the United States to El Salvador. Now, those deportation flights were carried out on Saturday night, despite a federal judge telling the administration to turn the planes around and return to the United States as these legal issues were sorted.
Imagine that. You over international waters and a judge. You get a phone call. You on a plane. Got the cargo plane. You making sure you're deporting illegal migrants that's out here terrorizing people. Gang members, MS-13 and Tren de Aragua on their necks and on their tattoos. And they got more protection than you do in your own neighborhood. Imagine that. You on a cargo plane and you get the phone call. Hey, man, you over international waters. I don't know what your gas is looking like, but make sure you turn that plane around and bring it back inside of the United States of America. We don't care how much it costs. What? What? You can't get me to come back to the house if I left my wallet and I'm 15 minutes away. I leave out the driveway. I'll be at the stop sign about to turn right. 5 houses down from where I left out the driveway. I'll be thinking to myself, God, dog it, I left my phone. I don't be wanting to turn around when I leave out the driveway. I ain't even left my block yet. I'll be thinking to myself, do I really need that phone? Do I really need that phone? You telling them to turn the plane around over international waters? Dreading it. No, I got to go back and go get that phone. You know what, man? Oh. Y'all know how it is. You know how it is. We the same people that'll pass up 4 gas stations talking about, I know I can make it. I know I can make it. I know I can make it to my destination. Just winging it. 13 miles to E. I can make it. I know I can make it. Don't be wanting to turn around to go and get your license. You know what? I don't think I'm going to get stopped today anyway. I don't need my license. It's going to be all right. I don't plan on going nowhere where I can get in. I look old enough, right? I can get in. I shouldn't need my license.
Sorted out. Judge Boasberg was back in court with Justice Department attorneys tonight. And while no cameras were in the courtroom, the CNN team who was reports that it grew contentious as the administration attorneys repeatedly stonewalled a clearly perturbed judge, refusing to even answer basic questions from him, leading him at one point to place his hands on his hips and shake his head with his eyes closed. At one point, he summed up the Justice Department's reasoning as, quote, "We don't care, we'll do what we want." The Trump administration, on the other hand, is arguing it did not violate Judge Boasberg's order since it was initially an oral directive and thus, quote,
y'all know how it is. I see y'all.
In plain English, they're saying that he said it out loud, but he has to write it down before it's real. Now, the timeline of all of this is crucial, and we've charted it out here for you because it was 5 p.m. Eastern on Saturday afternoon. That is when the judge kicked off this initial hearing over Trump's attempt to use these wartime powers to deport these alleged members of the Venezuelan gang. Now, it was briefly adjourned 22 minutes later for the government to collect more information. In that time,
Raiders 1992, you know I like to interact with the chat. Any of y'all that's new here, make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm. The likes is a little slow. And the chat is my co-host. Raiders 1992 says, my uncle hate Trump. He acts like a child. Your uncle is hateful. Tell your uncle he erases. Tell your uncle he erases and stop being hateful. Tell your uncle I said what up, though. Your uncle was racist. I know your uncle was racist, ain't he?
2 removal flights took off en route to El Salvador, which had agreed to take in these Venezuelan migrants for about $6 million. But after 6:45 p.m., the judge verbally told the Justice Department to turn around any planes that were carrying people being deported under the Alien Enemies Act. And the verbal order came after 2 flights had taken off, but before they had landed, and before a 3rd flight had even taken off from the United States. Now, the written order from the judge came about 40 minutes after that. I've been working to chase down the details on this timeline, when the administration got this information, when they found out what the order was, and that included at today's press briefing where we sought answers on where they draw the line between a judge's verbal order and a written one.
You keep talking about the judge's written order, which hit the docket Saturday night at about 7:26 p.m., but he issued a verbal order before that at about 6:45 and 6:48 p.m. based on the court hearing, a verbal order from the bench. Does the White House feel the need to comply with a verbal order from this judge?
Again, as I said, all of the planes subject to the written order of this judge departed U.S. soil, U.S. territory before the judge's written order.
But what about the verbal order, which of course carries the same legal weight as a written order, and said for the planes to turn around if they were in the air?
There's actually questions about whether a verbal order carries the same weight as a legal order, as a written order, and our lawyers are determined to ask and answer those questions in court.
So essentially what we're having a conversation about is protecting people that are not supposed to be here inside of the United States of America. We're spending time, resources, American taxpayer dollars. We're spending judges' time when he could be doing something more productive. We're spending legal fees. It's costing the United States of America taxpayers. It's costing the ACLU. I don't know if y'all continue to donate to the ACLU. And we're wasting precious time. We don't spend time doing anything productive. None of these groups, none of this diversity, equity, and inclusion, none of these people do anything productive whatsoever. They spend all of their time and all of their resources on things that do not add value into American taxpayer dollars, pockets. They don't fix anything. The only thing that these people do is make it difficult, and I mean incredibly difficult, for us to do the right thing for the American people. Imagine that level of defense for the people that's actually in here illegally already, that already should have been deported, and a judge, an Obama-appointed judge, is making it difficult for the Trump administration and is spending his time trying to make sure that he answers 4 questions for migrants that's already illegally deported or are already deported from being over here illegally. This is our justice system, y'all. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel. It's a waste of taxpayer dollars. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. That is what's going on in this case. Let me read a couple of super chats, and then we'll go over to the next part of the show. After Hours is tonight, y'all, and you will see Slimmy there. Slimmy says, shout out to AD, the can man. I'm an American. See y'all on After Hours tonight. Shout out to my dog, Slimmy. AR Smitty in the building says these judges either don't know, don't show, or don't give a f about what goes on in the hood. Shout out to y'all. We rock out. Oh, he said the US of A. A lot of y'all may not be familiar with that. A lot of y'all may not be familiar. Hey, if y'all ever seen the movie Don't Drink Your Juice While in the Hood, go ahead and check that out. I don't necessarily care about the Wayans, or at least Marlon Wayans and all of them, but that one is a good movie. Keyshawn White says, get you some AD merch, man. It'll sell. You know, they keep on telling me that, but I am working on something much bigger. Much, much bigger, Keyshawn. Listen, we not going to nickel and dime the people to death with no merch just so we can make a couple of extra dollars, Keyshawn. Let me tell you why. I'll give you an example. And then we go move over into the next part of the show. Do you know that everybody, even my YouTube rep called me, everybody keep telling me to turn on memberships on YouTube. Anton, you need to turn on memberships on all of your channels. It can generate you this amount of money and just amount of money. I said, I'm not turning on memberships. Why are you not turning on memberships? Because I'm not about to nickel and dime my people to death. We ain't desperate over here. If people want to make sure that they level up, then they can join the Patreon and we'll rock out like that. We're going to do meetups. We kicking it with people, and that's the real space where you can take the information and you can level up and make millions of dollars, hopefully, if you leverage it the right way. But we're not about to nickel and dime people to death. If I don't see the value add, then I'm not going to do it. I don't even advocate for people to send me super chats, to be honest with you. I say, hey, if you want to, then cool. I appreciate it. We definitely going to acknowledge you, but it's not something that's required. We just appreciate you from being here. I'm not nickel and diming my people to death, bro. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. I'm not turning on memberships to generate more revenue. Nah, we're going to do it the right way. We're going to do it the long way. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sell merch with AD on it just because it can generate more revenue. No, we're going to build whole brands that we think is dope, and we're going to get endorsements from the people. We're going to build a complete, I'm not going to tell you the details, but we are building an entire brand. Man, I will largely tell you right now, it's a strong possibility I will never sell any AD merch because it's low-hanging fruit. Could it generate a lot of money? Yeah. Do I really care that much? No, I don't. All money is just like, I don't want that type of money. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that type of money. So, I don't know, man. I'm cool. I'd rather just keep doing it the way that I'm doing it. And I think that everybody likes it and appreciates that and rocks out like that. And that's no shade to nobody else, because I think that some other people's memberships, I've seen other memberships from other people actually be valuable. Maybe they're giving you exclusive content that's much different or whatever. That's cool. For me and my brand, we probably never gonna do memberships. All right. Let's continue on with the show. Let's go over into Trump's perspective of this whole thing. Trump continues to deport illegal migrants, regardless of the judge's orders. Check it out.
Right now, I want to give you a look as we are getting this in from the White House on this Tuesday. Take a look. It says, quote, illegal aliens, download the CBP Home app, now available on all app stores. It goes on to say, do it the easy way or get deported the hard way. Again, this just in from the White House via President Donald Trump. And we do have the latest remarks from him from this video on X. I want to play that for you now.
People in our country illegally can self-deport the easy way, or they can get deported the hard way, and that's not pleasant. The Biden administration exploited the CBP One app to allow more than 1 million aliens to illegally enter the United States. Now my administration is launching the CBP Home app to give people in our country illegally an easy way to leave now and self-deport voluntarily. If they do, they could potentially have the opportunity to return legally at some point in the future. But if they do not avail themselves of this opportunity, then they will be found, they will be deported, and they will never be admitted again to the United States, ever again. You're never coming in. Using...
Okay, listen, I agree with the message. I'm not so sure about the music. Whoever is in charge of the social media campaign, we don't need the Ibiza music. Boom, 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 boom. When is the electronic music festival? Hey, Slimmy, when is the electronic music festival this year? Boom, 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 boom. Is that a modified version of it? Is that not the original? Did somebody add something to it to make it a little bit more spicy? I agree with the message. I don't agree with the music, okay?
The CBP Home app to leave the United States voluntarily is the safest option for illegal aliens and our law enforcement. It also saves the U.S.
It messed up the whole message. Messing up the whole message, you know what I'm saying?
Taxpayer dollars and valuable CBP and ICE resources. And all of those resources are necessary to focus on dangerous criminal aliens. And that's what we're focused on. The CBP Home app is now available free across all mobile app stores. And I encourage those who have violated our laws to use this option today. Do it right and come back into our country. Do it wrong and you'll never be back again.
Then I turned it up at the end of it.
So that was the very latest from President Donald Trump on this Tuesday morning. Again, this information just coming in to our live now from Fox Studios.
So basically, Trump is continuing with his deportations, and he's having a conversation with people, and he's saying, listen, either you can deport the easy way or you can deport the hard way. Now, the benefits of that is if you deport the easy way and you self-deport, then you'll have the opportunity to be able to come back over here illegal or come on back over here legally. If you do it the hard way, then it is going to be problematic for you because you will never be able to come back over into the United States of America. And so they're saying that they're gaining traction with this application. This is what's happening on the flip side of this. This is Stephen Miller speaking specifically about U.S. deportations and this whole judge's order, despite the fact that Trump is deporting them anyway, and the judge still wanting Trump to provide information of why he sent these illegal migrants over to El Salvador.
Our top story, the legal battle now surrounding President Trump's deportation of more than 260 alleged members of Tren de Aragua. There's the dramatic video that was taken by Bukele, the head of the president of El Salvador's folks, showing everybody what it looks like to be.
They are not messing around. They trimming whole beards off. You know how long it takes to grow a beard that long and to not be shaving it and stuff like that? Shaving all of your hair off and stuff. This is what happens over in other countries. If we had prisons that was like this, man, talk about a deterrent of whether or not you would go to jail or not. If we had prisons that was like this over in the United States of America, why? Well, I know why. Because, you know, they're going to sue you. They're going to get mad at you. Your baby mama is going to be over there protesting, you know, all of that stuff. So we got to make sure that we do it a little bit weaker. We got to give our prisoners iPads over here. They be running marathons. I'll be seeing them on TikTok half the time. Prisoners be on TikTok. Prisoners be in the prison on TikTok. Shoot, Tory Lanez just did a whole album, and that mug was dope. It sounded great, too. Great engineering. Tory Lanez rapped his whole album. Sounds great, too. Our prisons are cupcake factories. They prisons over there.
Taken into one of these prisons. It is pretty intense, dramatic stuff, and probably a good deterrent to anybody who's thinking about joining one of these gangs. Let's bring in White House Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy, Stephen Miller, who was reportedly part of the orchestration of this plan, along with DHS Secretary Kristi Noem. Stephen, always good to have you with us. What can you tell us about
they do what in LA County jails? They do what in LA County jails?
Genesis of this plan and the effort to make sure that it happened before any judge was able to turn this around.
Well, thank you, Martha. First of all, under President Trump's direction, this was one of the most successful counterterrorism operations in American history. Nearly 300 alien enemy terrorists who had illegally invaded our country were removed and deported to El Salvador for terrorism confinement. These individuals posed a direct and dire threat to the safety and security of the American people. They are part of a now designated foreign terrorist organization. And crucially, as the Alien Enemies Act designation makes clear, Tren de Aragua was sent here by a foreign government. They are an agent of the Venezuelan.
Thank y'all to more than 4,000 people that's watching this on YouTube right now. If y'all can hit a like for the algorithm, I appreciate it. If you've been here more than once, make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description, and subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications.
Government that has been sent to the United States. That is what triggers the predatory incursion language in the Alien Enemies Act. That statute vests in the president full, complete, and plenary authority to remove the alien enemy threat from the United States as expeditiously as possible. And what you saw was every arm and agency of this nation's Homeland Security apparatus and national security apparatus, Homeland Security, Justice, State Department, Defense Department, working together in perfect unison to secure the homeland.
Thank you, Laura Zero Cool.
Well, I want to hear a little bit. It is a fascinating program. I can only think about some of the women and children who these people were holding in different places in different states around the country who are breathing a little bit easier today. And I would love to hear more about those operations. But let me play this first from somebody who I know is not a favorite of President Trump. This is Andrew Weissman, who's a former top Mueller prosecutor. Of course, it's not a huge surprise that he didn't like this operation. He doesn't think it's legal under the act that you just mentioned, Stephen. Watch.
We're not at war with Venezuela. We're not at war with the gang that is the subject of the executive order.
Let me play that again real quick. I just want to make sure that I'm hearing this right.
We're not at war with Venezuela. We're not at war with the gang that is the subject of the executive order. There is no invasion that is.
The older I get, the less tolerance I have for nonsense like this. The older I get, the less tolerance I have for people saying stuff like this. This sounds crazy, bro.
Is going on, and you also have to show that the people you're removing are actually part of that gang, even if there were an invasion or a war. And this statute may, in fact, be very unconstitutional.
So the judge has to be convinced that these individuals aren't real. I mean, it's a huge group, and nobody's going to miss any of these people, but they're quantifiable. So can you prove that these individuals were linked with Tren de Aragua and that Tren de Aragua is part of a Maduro operation, Stephen?
So first of all, Andrew Weissman is an absolute moron. He is a moron, and he's a fool, and he's a degenerate. Andrew Weissman has devoted his career to putting innocent Americans in jail, taking away their civil liberties. He was involved in the Mueller coup against a democratically elected President Donald J. Trump. Weissman should never be on TV anywhere. He should hang his head in eternal shame for what he's done to this country. And now he's up there shilling for people who rape and murder Americans. That's who Andrew Weissman is. I met the mother of Jocelyn Nungary, Alexis Nungary, who President Trump honored at the State of the Union, named a national wildlife refuge after her daughter. Trained Aragua terrorists took that 12-year-old angel and they tortured her to death. They sexually assaulted her. They stripped her and they dumped her body in a river. That's who President Trump has deported from this country. Behind every single one of those terrorists was another future rape victim, another future sex trafficking victim, another future murder victim. Most importantly, every one of those people was here illegally. They have no right to be in this country for 1 second longer. They are illegal aliens. They are foreign terrorists. They are alien enemies. And the law at the heart of this issue was signed in the founding generation of this country, the same generation that wrote our Constitution. People say, oh, it's an 18th century law. You know what else is an 18th century law? The Constitution of the United States, the Bill of Rights of the United States. The founding generation gave us this law, gave President Trump this law to repel this invasion from our country.
I mean, there's
and
no
it was
higher,
all detailed in the proclamation, how this gang was sent here by a foreign government, and President Trump is sending them out of this country.
Well, we look forward to learning more about that, because that connection is very crucial. And I think it is, you know, there's no higher calling for any president of the United States than the national security of the country. And I think that the law tends to support that. So we look forward to watching this. You can call Weissman names and he can call you names. And that's what's great about living in America.
This is a tit for tat with Weissman. This isn't a tit for tat with Weissman. I will defend American lives working for President Trump, and Andrew Weissman can defend illegal alien rapists, terrorists, and predators.
I will leave that up to you guys to
good
argue.
for him. I've chosen my side. Americans have chosen their side, and President Trump has
no
chosen the
game.
side of fiercely defending the American people.
I hear you 100%. How about Whoopi Goldberg? Let's watch this real quick, and then just a quick statement, if you could, on the other side, and then more. Go ahead. Let's play it.
You just got to keep your eyes open, y'all. Because if they can just come up and take somebody because they've made a decision that you're supposed to be that person, any one of us could find ourselves being deported.
Any one of us could be taken on one of these planes to El Salvador.
What? Yo, man, I wish it was possible to deport somebody like a Whoopi Goldberg. I wish that it was possible to deport somebody like a Whoopi Goldberg out of this country. But I also respect American rule and law, and that's not even remotely close to what's going on. This is stupid. Absolutely, positively stupid. What the heck is she talking about?
Even according to Whoopi.
Every one of these individuals, as a starting point, again, is an illegal alien. We deport from this country every year, at least now under President Trump, countless illegal aliens. That's how immigration enforcement works. What we are talking about here is, in addition to being here illegally, having engaged in an illegal and predatory incursion, they are also part of a recognized foreign terrorist organization. They are now also designated by the United States under statute as alien enemies. The proclamation, by the way, you can just read it. It details all the links to the regime in Venezuela in detail, in black and white. And the options for this country are very simple. It's very binary. Either they're allowed to stay here one day longer and threaten and menace innocent American lives, or they leave this country where they cannot threaten and menace innocent American lives. And by the way, that judge who tried to order those planes turned around, he put the lives of every single Homeland Security officer in danger with that order. Every one of them. He didn't know how much fuel was on those planes. He didn't know how many hours those pilots had flown. He didn't know where they were over international airspace. He didn't know the security conditions on those planes. He didn't know if those TDA gang members would mutiny. He didn't know a damn thing. He didn't care about the lives of those officers. He didn't care about the national security of this country. He didn't care about the laws or constitution of this country. Look, at some point, Martha, we're either going to have a country or we're not. And you can't have a country if any regime around the world can send a terrorist army across our borders to rape and murder our citizens. Is there a more fundamental thing in this entire nation than the ability of the American people to elect a president to keep us safe? That man, that leader, that president is Donald Trump, and he did exactly what the American people elected him to do. And
I agree. I 100% agree, and you got to give this guy a round of applause again. for the amount of passion that he has. Listen, that's the type of person that you want to hire. When you hire somebody for a job, you want somebody that truly, fervently believes absolutely in the mission. And with him and Tom Homan, boy, I'm telling you, those are the type of people that you need on your team. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. No, don't take a breath. Keep going. Nick T is in the building and says, why don't the Justice Department label international gang members as terrorists to bypass BS judges like him? Whatever happened to the Patriot Act? Trump actually did declare these gangs as terrorists. He did declare it as terrorists. That's one of the first things that he did in his first executive orders. James Watt says, what up, AD? You said Mayor Mohawk trying to get vendors discount. This guy's a joke. I haven't seen it. Brock, Pastor Love offering. Why didn't this Obama-appointed judge have the same energy for the deporter-in-chief himself? Just a question. I don't know, Brock. I don't know. Mr. Lott says we can settle this like gentlemen, or we can get into some gangsters. Yeah. Dave G says Drake should use that beat for his next diss track. Miller said, I'll be a huckleberry. I'll be a huckleberry. That was when my man, what was that? Tombstone? I'll be a huckleberry. All right. Okay then. Let's get it on. And then they had a shootout. Casual Germ says, the one time I agree with Yahtzee Miller, I 100% believe that not one Latino service member served to have the criminal migrants violating our children. Preach, Steven. Shout out to Casual Germ. I appreciate you. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notification. Let's take a pivot real quick. And we don't want to get away from migrants, but we definitely want to take a pivot. And I'm going to read the Cash App shortly. Chris Hansen on MSNBC, Dateline MSNBC. Y'all remember Chris Hansen? Chris Hansen used to be on To Catch a Predator. I think that Chris Hansen, yeah, that was Doc Holliday. Shout out to y'all. Chris Hansen, I believe that show had got modified or canceled at one point because somebody had got in trouble or they had arrested a judge and all of this stuff. But Chris Hansen has still kept the party going. Well, guess what? I didn't even realize that Chris Hansen was still catching predators. And he just so happened to start catching illegal migrants too. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notification. This is what happened with Chris Hansen, y'all.
Trump's border plan's already paying off. The number of bad hombres breaching one of our main entry points down 100%. The migrants just stopped coming. At this rate, Mnuchin might be out of a job. And the illegals who are already here still have a chance to self-deport thanks to the CBP1 app. Remember, Joe Biden used it kind of as like an open table for illegals where they can just make a reservation to break into the country. But Trump took it over, and now Juan can only make a reservation to leave. And for the illegals who are still here and choose to prey on America's children, Chris Hansen has a surprise.
Come on in. It's nice and warm in here.
That's pretty cool. Wait a minute. Y'all still falling for the same trick? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm a huge advocate for making sure that predators put themselves in a difficult situation so that they can be caught and sent to jail, and that we can expose them, and we're going to put them on the whatever that is, a sex predator list or whatever, the sexual list that y'all be having them on. Remember when they created the sexual list? And now you can go and you can see all of the sexual predators inside of your neighborhood. I believe in this. So I'm not telling you that you shouldn't do it, but y'all still falling for the same game? They didn't even change the way that they do it. It's probably still the same person. They probably done aged, and they using the same trick over and over again. Tell me that y'all not still falling for the same. Hey, come on in. My parents are not home. Y'all don't know that y'all getting set up. Hey, come on in. Not a big deal. I just got to go in the back room and put up my hair. I'll be like, what? Chris Hansen must be in there. Ain't no way that you got to hurry up and put up your hair. Because I heard that line before. You used that line on that other migrant over there. You used that line on that other predator. Nah, dog. They always waiting at the door. Here, come on in. Come on in. You know what? Let me drive around all of these blocks to see all of the police cars that's waiting around the block. No, but y'all so desperate for some box. We ain't even got to the migrant part yet. Y'all so desperate for box. You know, aside from the fact that y'all talking to underage girls and y'all trying to get box from them, dog, it be whole people with whole careers. Y'all be driving 3 and 4 hours out of your way. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, baby girl. I'm going to go and pick up a case of beer. You go get some beer, some condoms, extra, extra, extra small and thin. Lambskin condoms, extra thin, extra small. Hey, what do you got in your pocket over there, buddy? Oh, nothing. What are these? Looks like those are condoms. I wasn't bringing those for her. I was bringing those for when I left her. Oh, extra, extra, extra tiny. I don't even think you can get a venereal disease if it's extra small. Honest to God, I don't think that because you know that usually STIs and STDs, they oh, what is that, a baby toe? Y'all still falling for the same thing? The same stupid girl that's in there. Hey, come on in. I'm just going to go in the back real quick and I got to change my clothes. I got to get something a little more comfortable because I'm so excited to see you. Bruh, that's a police officer. That's a decoy. That's not nobody that's actually wanting you. You come over there with your trucker belly. Yeah. You know, you be looking just like Mr. Incredible before he worked out. Small legs, big stomach, trucker hat, unshaved, smelling like oil. Hey, baby, you said you wanted me. Man, you going to jail, dog. You going to jail. You going all the way to jail. If you think that a 15, 16, 17-year-old, whatever, however old they are, 13, 12, for all of you predators, let me just try to give y'all a little bit of insight. If you think that they are interested in you, looking like a POS, looking like you just woke up and who did it to you, if you think that they want your trucker belly, bro, you are sadly mistaken. I'm telling you. Even the little kids know that you ain't desirable and you walking straight into the house. You know what? I got me one. I'm going to keep texting her on this app. Let me send her some baby penis pics. Thinking that, come on, fam. All of the police officers is in the back room cracking up. Oh, man, look at him. He sent these pics. He's just crazy. Look at these. Oh, man. Look like a baby was just born. They're Think about that, dog. When you send over your baby pictures, they're laughing at you in the back. And you're going to meet Chris Hansen. And they're going to show your whole face on TV. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. You might as well go to church, pray, get that demon up off your back because that ain't nothing but a demon. Stop saying that, oh, man, I was born this way. No, you wasn't. That's a demon on your back. Get that off of your back so you stop sending them baby pictures, bro. All right?
Yeah. So I'm Ivy.
Ivy.
This is Sky.
Yes, guys. How you doing?
Eric, it's the real. You know what I'm saying? Look at
that. Do you want to go?
He put on his best Ed Hardy gear. He went and got him some Ed Hardy so he can fit in with the young guys.
Reggie? Okay.
Don't go in the back, dog.
How you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Why don't you have a seat right over there, that stool there?
Huh?
Good. Does he have a seat over there?
Okay.
How you doing?
Good.
Good. What's happening?
Not much.
It's quite a car you got out there.
It is.
Yeah. Fast?
Huh?
Fast?
Fast.
Is it a fast car?
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Are you here in this country legally?
I'm fixing. I'm married.
But are you a U.S. citizen?
I'm fixing my status.
You're trying to become a U.S. citizen. And what country are you from?
Mexico.
Mexico.
Chris Hansen's the host.
I marry. Yeah, but did you fix your status? I marry. I fix my status coming soon. Status coming soon. Where you from? Mexico. Where X's and J's are pronounced with an H. Mexico. I marry. Oh man,
That
I
guy
love
was
this
showing
show.
up to see two women.
He was showing up to have sex with a 15-year-old girl who was being sold, trafficked by her older relative.
Oh, boy.
Mother.
All right. And this guy's from Mexico?
He's from Mexico. He worked at a medical center in Birmingham, Alabama, in maintenance. He brought a lot of money, like $4,000, and his shirt, Jesse, said, "Snake in the grass."
Think about this for a second, y'all. He's sitting around, riding around with $4,000 doing the J Money challenge. Pocket extra sloppy. Don't wanna be with J Money, serving everybody. He riding around doing the J Money challenge with $4,000 in his pocket. You can't come up with $1,000 or $500 in the case of an emergency. Y'all sitting on here talking about eggs. Oh my God, the price of eggs was going up so much. I can't believe it. Trump said he was bringing down inflation on day one. He riding around with four pockets extra sloppy. Don't wanna be with J Money, serving everybody. He walking around with 4 racks in his pocket.
These people don't even understand the irony here.
Well, he was one of 6 men we arrested, along with the Blount County Sheriff Mark Moon and his team, the 2 days before Valentine's Day. So what a surprise they got, right?
Oh, boy.
One of the men, Anthony, shows up, and he was packing heat.
Let's see it.
Have you ever met anybody online for sex before? Never. Well, that's not what you said before. So, Anthony, there's some stuff you...
No, dog. Not extra chocolate. Don't go. No, dog. Listen. Never, ever. Sexual chocolate. Never go over anybody's house who got a Pink Floyd poster on their wall. That is a setup. That is a setup if I've never seen it before again. Listen, for all of you guys that keep on talking to these chicks that still wear True Religion jeans, these white girls wearing True Religion jeans with these extra tight small booties, stop. It's a setup. You going to jail. You're going to lose your family. You're going to lose your house. You're going to lose your job. You're going to get your cars repossessed. And they're going to put your picture online. Dog, don't do it, big dog.
You need to know.
I do.
No. You got condoms there. You got a loaded gun. Is it a 9? Anthony, look at me for a minute. And then I'm going to let these guys take over. I'm Chris Hansen.
Oh, I'm on a TV show?
You're on the TV show.
Ah, and your eyes left. You got a crooked eye?
You guys take over. I'm Chris Hansen.
Oh.
No, dog. You looking at Chris. You looking at the camera at the same time. This is a difficult situation. This is bad. This is absolutely bad. This is not going to work out in your favor, bro. Oh, no. I'm on a TV show, too. You going to jail, dog. And you got your condoms.
I'm on a TV show?
You're on the TV show.
I mean, how many times has that happened?
Almost every time. You
Look,
know,
all of the signs are there. Let me show y'all. Look at Chris Hansen's background. What do you see? Curtains that's not even straight. Them curtains just got up there. They just put them up there in order to cover up the windows. Everywhere. Listen, y'all ignore every sign. Every sign you ignore it. New unironed curtains. Any woman is going to make sure that them curtains are straightened out before she put them up there. Any woman is going to make sure that them curtains are straightened up before. You know them curtains just got there before you got there. You ignored the signs because you just so desperate for box. Boxolitis will have you paralyzed. Paralyzed doing things that you normally wouldn't do when you know you shouldn't do it.
I mean, how many times has that happened?
Almost every time. You know, in the last month, we've busted about 18 guys, Jesse, all over the country. And usually, if they don't recognize me in the very beginning, at some point during the conversation, they do. This fellow, Anthony, not only had the gun that was in his waistband loaded, he had another gun in his car along with 30 credit cards that were not his.
Did they even recognize you if they're from Mexico?
Scammer.
Sometimes they do. Now, interestingly, every time we catch an illegal, I like to go back and see what the United States has done for that country, Mexico. From 2001 to 2024, USA gave Mexico $22 billion. That's all in. That's USAID, Homeland Security, the whole thing.
Wow.
Last year, 2024, $185 million. Now, that included $38 million in administrative costs for USAID, as well as $7 million for pay and benefits. And get this, we gave them another $7.5 million to help Mexico reduce its carbon emissions to zero.
Oh, wonderful.
Jesus
Did they do
Christ.
that? The answer is no.
No. And we gave them another $5 million for vulnerable people on the move and $10 million to help Mexican workers form labor unions.
Wow.
All of that
vulnerable
money
people-
went to go make other people rich. All of that money goes to make other people rich. And meanwhile, Jose is over there walking around with $4,000 in his pocket. And this other guy whose eye is going to the left is over here running around with condoms trying to bust down a little girl, ignoring all of the signs. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let me read some of these super chats, and then we're going to get over into the next part of the show. I want to talk about, let me see this real quick. Let me make sure that that's right. Hunter Biden. Ooh, Hunter Biden and Biden's pardons. They're basically saying that the pardons shouldn't still be in place, but we'll talk about it in a minute. Don't forget they stop and get a 6-pack of beer, getting caught on camera at the store down the street. They do, and they'll be having, this is dumb. It's just all dumb. It's a lot. Shout out to Miss Crow Tichetti for 80 to say Trende Aragua. Trende Aragua. Mr. Lot says, when he texting the girls, he's George, but when they catch him, he's Jorge. He's Jorge. Pookie's friend Ray Ray says, you got to remember it's okay in their country for them to marry young girls over there. We got a lot of them when I was a domestic violence advocate. You wow, bro. Casual Germ says, Chris Hansen was struggling for years. He saw an opportunity and exploited it. That's capitalism. I ain't mad at him. Get that bag, Chris. Leave the hookers alone, though. Give Chris a hooker or so. Chris been doing good work for the United States of America. Whoa. Calm down, Jamal. Don't pull out the 9. They got guns over here. They got all of that. Dark-skinned dude got that caught by Chris Hansen. Look like Fresh from Fresh. Oh, why y'all dissing Fresh? The cook up with Von Free says Anton singing Young LA took me out. that's I think I'm about to have a skating party, yo. I do. I think I'm about to have a skating party soon. I'm about to throw a skating party. You know what I wanted to do? I wanted to actually open up a skating rink. Delusions of grandeur. Hunter Biden, y'all. Hunter Biden. I don't want to spend any more than 10 minutes on this. Hunter is back in the news. Hunter is back in the news. They say that Hunter Biden is walking around in Africa with 18 Secret Service agents. 18. I'm not even sure that Trump got 18 Secret Service agents with him at all times. Hunter Biden got a service detail of 18 Secret Service agents. How much money are we wasting inside of the federal government? That's all I'm trying to understand. How much money are we wasting? How much taxpayer money are we wasting to protect Hunter Biden? To protect the dope fiend? Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. This is what Trump had to say when he found out.
Mr. President, sir, there were 18 Secret Service agents protecting Hunter Biden in South Africa this weekend. Who's paying for that? Would you plan to revoke the Secret Service protection?
Well, we have done that with many. I would say if there are 18 with Hunter Biden, that will be something I'll look at this afternoon. Okay?
Sir?
I just heard about it for the first time. So you have 18 Secret Service going. Where is he exactly?
In South Africa.
In South Africa. And South Africa, you know, is on a watch list. You know that. Because what they're doing to people is brutal. And I've stopped having money go to South Africa. You know that. Billions of dollars. So he's in South Africa. That's very interesting. All right.
Trump is not happy about that. When they alerted him to the fact that Hunter Biden is sitting over there in South Africa. What is Hunter Biden doing in South Africa? And why does he need 18 Secret Service agents with him? And where is his daddy? And where's Biden? Where is Biden? Hunter Biden is Fredo. Hunter Biden is Fredo from The Godfather. That's exactly who he is. He is Fredo from The Godfather. He is the can't get right. He is the kid that the father knew was never going to succeed him, but at the same time, he knew he had to protect him, but don't ever turn against the family and stop banging cocktail waitresses 2 at a time. They say, and we can't prove it, they say that Hunter Biden was the one that possibly brought drugs inside of the White House that they couldn't prove who did it. Now, how can you not prove who brought what inside of the White House? The White House is like Fort Knox. Have y'all ever been to the White House before? I went to the White House a couple different times, and I was watching all of the weirdos and the crazy people, and this just so happened to be while Biden was in office, so bear with me right now. If you go and visit the White House, just stand outside of it, and we actually got an invitation to tour inside of the White House. So I'm looking to go there very soon. If you go to the White House, right, there is so many crazy people. There are people that's out there every single day. No job, no car, no food, on the bike, with a sign, out there protesting. You're going to have a guy over here saying, oh my God, Jesus is real. Make sure you repent. And then you're going to have this person over here with a bikini on. He going to be a man with a bikini on, talk about, make sure we protest for LGBTQ rights. But if you look in the distance, if you look at the White House and you pay attention, you know what you'll see? Snipers on the roof. And they play no games whatsoever. Try to climb that fence if you want to. It's going to be dogs that be gnawing. And they train to go for the neck. They're going to grab your arms, your neck, and all of them. And it's a sniper. Couple of them walking around on the White House roof. Try to jump the fence if you want to. Now, they got all of this security. They got all of the snipers. They got the dogs sniffing to find out where everything is at. They got Billy Porter slapping and clapping on the White House lawn. Kamala Harris was over there sleeping and stuff. And you telling me with all of the cameras, all of the technology, all of the dogs, all of the security, that you don't know. Nobody knows who brought dope inside of the White House. We expected that during what, Obama's administration? Because black man, he going to wind up bringing dope inside of the White House. They always sniffing on something, smoking weed. They going to change it from playing golf to playing basketball. They expected it from Obama. Obama didn't give it to him. You know who gave it to him? Biden's son, Hunter. I heard Trump is releasing the JFK files like he said he was going to release today. Anyways, this was Trump's resolution to the Secret Service extension over to Hunter Biden over there in South Africa. Check it out.
Welcome back. President Trump says he's ending immediately Secret Service security for former President Biden's children, Hunter and Ashley. Protection for adult family members of an ex-president usually ends when they leave office, but Biden requested an extension until July. That may not last. Madeline Rivera live in Washington with more. Hi, Maddie.
Good morning, Dana. The president made this announcement on Truth Social, saying Hunter had as many as 18 people on his security detail while he vacations in South Africa. The president says Ashley Biden.
Now, I could be off, and I want to make sure that we get this whole full report, and I could be off, but y'all just got to give me some little insight and familiarize me, okay? How many of y'all have ever been on a vacation in South Africa? I'll wait. Purpose is everything said it's 8K pages, though, as far as the JFK files. That's why we got AI. We got AI now. AI will go through that. AI will figure out exactly what's in them JFK files. We ain't tripping about that. Send them over to me. Tomorrow, I will go over them. I got AI scanning through them, and I got an assistant. We're going to get through every single file without even thinking twice. Who have anybody inside of this? We got over 4,000 people inside of this chat. Has anybody ever vacation in South Africa? Especially the most dangerous parts. Shawnee, you live in South Africa? Is that a vacation spot, Shawnee? Is that a vacation spot? Tell me, Shawnee, if it's a vacation spot. Because it sounds to me. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of that scene out of Lord of War. And I could be wrong. I might need some additional insight on South Africa and where you should vacation over in South Africa and all of that stuff. But it reminded me of that scene on Lord of War where he offered the two girls, but he didn't want to sleep with them because he was scared that he was going to get AIDS. C. Diggs is right. Says, keyword vacation. Who goes to a vacation in South Africa? Sound like he was doing some deals down there to me. But I could be wrong.
Had 13 agents. They have been revoked as well. The New York Post had a story about this over the weekend about Hunter's South African vacation with Secret Service protection. A reporter asked the president about the issue yesterday, and that's how he first learned about it.
Well, we have done that with many. I would say if there are 18 with Hunter Biden, that will be something I'll look at this afternoon. Okay? Sure. I just heard about it for the first time.
Former presidents and their spouses get lifetime.
Yeah, I've heard of Johannesburg, but listen, bro. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. If I never go to South Africa in my life, I'm cool. I don't even want to go to Paris right now because I heard that it's a whole lot of YNs over in Paris. I might go to Paris. Who knows? I might go to South Africa. Who knows? But I've seen some videos of what they looking like over there by the Eiffel Tower and some of these other places that's supposed to be great tourist places all over the world, and they've been invaded by illegal migrants. They've been invaded by Haitians, Venezuelans, all kind of stuff. I've heard that a lot of these places have basically been invaded and they over there selling feet on the side of the road. They over there selling feet on the side of the road. I'm missing out, Shawnee? All right. Well, send me some insight so I can better understand. I don't want to get bit by nothing. I don't want to get robbed. I don't need all none of that. I'm sensitive. You know what I'm saying?
Secret Service protection. Coverage for immediate family members who are over the age of 16 typically end when they leave office, but presidents can extend those protections for up to 6 months after their terms end. The Associated Press reports
Somebody said, why are Americans so afraid? Because we only get one life. You don't get no respawn. See, y'all used to just dying and stuff. I mean, why is Americans so afraid? Because I'm worth something. Because I'm rich. What do you mean? Because I want to live a long time. Do you know what the cycle of life is over here? Let me tell you something about this. If you survive out of the hood and you wind up making it, and then you just so happen to be, dedicated and hardened enough to get to the point to where you get rich, you start to become a little bit more Ruben Pfeffer-like. You start to evaluate the risks a little bit more because you realize how precious life is. Boy, I don't get no respawn. What you talking about? I'd rather be wrong and safe than right and over in your country getting exploited. What you mean? Why we so afraid? Afraid? It's called being mindful of your surrounding. It's called being situationally aware. You don't just go anywhere that you don't want. What are you talking about? I'm paying attention. I got my head on the swivel. I'm trying to figure out what's going on all the time. Anton, America is more dangerous compared to Ghana. You's a lie. You a lie. And the truth ain't in you. You a lie and the truth. Then why y'all keep trying to come over here then? Okay, listen. You know what I've learned is that you never try to go to the place that's more dangerous for freedom. If it's so great in all of y'all countries, in Venezuela and Ghana and gonorrhea and all of these places, why are you trying to come over here to the United States of America? If it's so futuristic and safe and the people are so nice and you don't have to worry about getting raped at night when you're walking and you're a woman by yourself, why are you coming over here to the United? Why are you so desperate? Why are you swimming through alligator waters? Why are you willing to go through the cartels and get your daughter taken? If your country is so safe, because don't sell me that nonsense. If your country is so safe, why are you so desperate to get here? Why are you hiding from authorities so that you don't get deported? Stop lying to me. Stop lying. Y'all don't even have reliable internet. Y'all don't even have reliable internet. It's more safe than the ghetto America. Cool. Well, keep me in the ghetto right here in the Americans. And you stay in Ghana. Make Ghana great again. I seen some videos of what was going on over there with them African booty scratchers. You're not going to sit here and sell me on that nonsense. Ghana is safe. Then what you doing here? Nigeria is safe. Then why was they stealing boats? Why they stealing boats over there? How come you can't go outside at night? Keep on lying to me. Ghana is more safe. This place is more safe. That place is more safe. Okay, then stay there.
President Trump did so, too, in his first term for his children. Former Presidents Obama, Bush, and Clinton reportedly extended protections for their children as well for a brief period of time. Nevertheless, it is the latest setback for Hunter, who earlier this month moved
Every
to
time I
drop
go
a
out
civil
of the country, they tell me to take a shot. Don't drink the water. Only drink bottled water with the seal on tight. Make sure that you don't go into this place. Be very careful of being around people because they will put something in your drink. Don't go out past 8 o'clock without a chaperone. You know what? I'm going to just stay home then. It ain't even that deep. I'm going to just stay home.
Suit against a former White House aide who published the contents of his infamous laptop. Hunter pointed to major financial problems, including debt totaling millions of dollars, as the reason why he did not want to move forward with the case. Though we should note, according to the New York Post, he went to South Africa. Dana.
Shout out to Hunter Biden for taking advantage of the Secret Service and for his daddy continuing to protect him. It's so great here. Okay. Cool. I ain't gonna keep going in on y'all countries. Because it's too easy. It's too easy. Keep on saying you come over here with sandals. Y'all keep bringing y'all culture over here to the United States of America with sandals. Keep on scratching everywhere. Doing it, man. I'm from Ghana. Why you not still in Ghana then? I'm from Ghana. Keep bringing your cuisine over here. All of these Americans talking about, I want to, you know what? Africa is a beautiful country. They got all of the minerals and resources. You should go ahead and declare citizenship over there and move over there permanently. Keep on telling me about how great your country is. America is the only great country in the world as far as I'm concerned. Hunter is exploring some gold and diamond mines. I believe it too. This is unacceptable. RFK Jr. wasn't even allowed protection while he was on his presidential campaign. They was trying to reduce Trump's presidential protection or his former presidential protection. Like Tupac said in Poetic Justice, what the hell if y'all keep trying to sneak out the info? Asia Thomas says, hi, Anton. Hunter B. dropped his lawsuit against the whistleblower. One of the SA leaders had a speech on YouTube against President Trump over the money freeze. Shout out to you, Asia. I appreciate you. Double Jeopardy says, AD, did you hear about the man eating a dead rat while sitting on the curb in NYC? What happened to just a cup of noodles? I have not heard about that. I haven't. Maybe I'll go to New York this weekend and go see for myself. Asia says a lot of people go in groups to SA on vacation. If I have to go in a group, then I know that it's a problem. Make sure y'all make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Tiege Hanley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off for life. Biden. They say Biden's pardons may be invalid. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. This is what's happening.
Is determined to get one done. Sure, Caitlin.
I have two questions for you. One on the flights, but first on the president's post overnight, saying that the pardons that were issued by President Biden preemptively to members of the January 6th committee.
She get a lot of questions. She always front row one, seat one. How does she get so many questions answered? You see all of those people that's in there? Most of those people can't get their questions answered. They don't even get called on. This woman get called on over and over and over again. I don't understand how she keeps getting called on.
Now, null and void. Have attorneys here at the White
Somebody said I might have to, I ain't missing nothing in NYC. Man, listen, bro. There's plenty to do in NYC. Y'all just look at one part of it. And although I think that NYC, to a larger extent, could be bad, there's some great things in NYC. There's some great things in every city inside of America.
White House told President Trump that he has the legal authority to undo a pardon simply because it was signed by autopen, as he said.
The president was begging the question that I think a lot of journalists in this room should be asking about whether or not the former president of the United States, who I think we can all finally agree was cognitively impaired. I know it took people some time to finally admit that, but we all know that to be true, as evidenced by his disastrous debate performance against President Trump during the campaign. I digress on that. But the president was raising the point that did the president even know about these pardons? Was his legal signature used without his consent or knowledge? And that's not just the president or me raising those questions, Caitlin. According to the New York Post, there are Biden officials from the previous White House who raised those questions and wondered if the president was even consulted about his legally binding signature being signed onto documents. And so I think it's a question that everybody in this room should be looking into, because certainly that would propose perhaps criminal or illegal behavior if staff members were signing the President of the United States autograph without his.
So the question is, and the concern is, was Biden able to even pardon some of the things that he was pardoning, or were they using autopen on his behalf to issue a lot of these pardons that was coming outside of the White House? Basically, was Biden being controlled? Now, the theory is, and what we believe over here on the Millionaire Morning Show, is that Biden didn't even know his right from his left. He didn't even know where to go when he was getting off on a White House lawn from the helicopter. Biden had no clue most of the time that he was in the White House. I don't believe, even for a second, that Biden knew most of the time what he was doing, where he was, and where he was going. I don't believe it. You can't sell me on it. I absolutely think that Biden was being taken advantage of. I think that he was a horrible president. Part of the reason why his legacy is going to be tainted is his White House residency. But I do believe that Biden was compromised. And so that is the question that people are asking, since people had the authority to be able to use autopen to sign a lot of things, which also include majority of the pardons that he was issued. Here's it from another angle from News Nation, basically breaking down exactly what the concern is.
President Trump doubling down over the weekend on his claim that his predecessor, Joe Biden, used an autopen to add his signature to crucial documents. Mills Hayes is here with us this morning. So, Mills, describe this to us. What exactly is an autopen? And is there any evidence that President Biden was heavily relying on one, like President Trump claims?
Well, good morning, Marky. Happy to be back here. An autopen is a device that replicates someone's signature. It's something that celebrities often use to sign autographs for fans, and it provides an identical signature every single time, like almost a stamp. It's common knowledge that presidents use the device too. Harry Truman, believed to be the first U.S. president to do so almost 100 years ago. But the White House doesn't exactly broadcast that they're doing it for obvious reasons. The issue here, according to President Trump, is how much his predecessor was allegedly relying on it. And overnight, the president upping the ante, posting that the pardons signed by President Biden are, quote, hereby declared void, vacant, and of no further force or effect, because of the fact that they were done by autopen. In other words, Joe Biden did not sign them. He continues those on the unselect committee, referring to the House committee that investigated January 6th, should, quote, fully understand that they are subject to investigation at the highest level. The fact is that they were probably responsible for the documents that were signed on their behalf without their knowledge or consent. This claim originated from the Heritage Foundation's oversight project. They highlighted signatures from pardons that the president signed, including those for Anthony Fauci, Mark Milley, and the January 6th committee.
That's crazy. That is crazy. And the more that you learn, the more that you realize that he was basically being controlled.
The signatures are identical, suggesting the use of an autopen. They contrasted those signatures with the one announcing Biden's withdrawal from the 2024 presidential race, which they say is noticeably different. The president suggested on Truth Social, quote, the person who was the real president during the Biden years was the person who controlled the autopen. Here's what President Trump first said about the claim on Friday.
Crooked Joe Biden got us into a real mess with Russia and everything else he did, frankly, but he didn't know about it, and he, generally speaking, signed it with autopen. So how would he know? That autopen is a big deal. 99% of the time I say do it, but they come up and I sign it. But you don't use autopen. It's, number one, it's disrespectful to the office.
Marky, so far, no response from President Biden or anyone who worked in the Biden White House. But again, this is something that presidents do use and have used for decades. President George W. Bush's Justice Department actually made a legal argument that an autopen signature is just as valid as the president's handwritten signature when it comes to signing bills. Marky.
Yeah, so basically the argument is, and I'm going to read these Cash Apps shortly. I appreciate everybody that support the platform. Shout out to all of the new Patreon members. I'm getting a lot of alerts to people that are joining the Bag Chasers. Basically, the conversation and the argument is, was Joe Biden, again, let's ask the question one more time. Was Joe Biden able to actually authorize his signature? And did he, or was he even aware of what was going on, which included the pardons that was being issued, the mass pardons that was being issued? Did he even know who was really doing the autopen, who was making these signatures, and are they valid if Joe Biden wasn't even aware of what was going on inside of the White House?
And breaking overnight, a new, different possible constitutional showdown. This morning, President Trump is claiming that the sweeping pardons that President Biden issued before leaving office are, quote, hereby declared void. Trump asserts it is because of the fact that they were done by autopen. In other words, Joe Biden did not sign them, but more importantly, Trump says he did not know anything about them. With us now is former Manhattan prosecutor Jeremy Solin, who is with us by phone. Jeremy, I'll keep on looking this way here. So talk to me about this. Jeffrey Toobin, our friend, just wrote a terrific book on pardons and notes that it is probably among all the president's powers, the one that is most unchallengeable, the one that is most absolute. If President Biden pardons someone, President Trump can't unpardon them.
Yeah, that's generally a fair statement, and there's nothing in the law and the Constitution that says explicitly it has to be signed. So, he's going after President Biden's faculties, but, the question is what this is setting up for. This is just an effort to maybe make an extended version of going after other things as well, though one would think that President Trump should think this through, because if successful, that means that his potential pardons, whomever they may be, can be challenged in a similar manner down the road. So certainly there's an issue here, but you're correct. This is a pretty liberal right or ability of the president.
And again, the issue of autopens. Autopens are things that presidents have used for decades, often to sign legislation and orders. Does the use of an autopen make anything more or less legitimate than signing it by your own hand?
It does not, and I believe this has been back since roughly Truman that autopens have been used, give or take. So this is something that is not new. This is not technologically an advancement that, wait a second, now the president needs to go to the Court of Appeals and up to the Supreme Court to say, hey, can you use an autopen? This is a power grab, for lack of a better term, by the president, to effectuate whether that's revenge after people he doesn't like on the January 6th committee, whether that's Jack Smith specifically or Fauci. One doesn't know, but it's certainly to move his ends, whatever they may be.
I personally, and I'm going to be as objective as possible on this. Two things, all right? Two things. I don't need to hear somebody else's analogy of it. I have my own opinion of it. This is what I believe, and this is what I believe in my heart. Real talk. All jokes aside, this is what I believe in my heart. I believe that these two things are true. The first thing that I believe is true is I believe that Joe Biden did not know what he was doing inside of the White House. For a long time, we have been speculating all the way up until the debate with Trump, in which we basically was confirmed that Joe Biden was out of his mind, that he had no clue what was going on, part of the reason why the country was in shambles, and that he had diverted so far away from the things that he had stood on just when he was vice president from Barack Obama was because that he was out of his mind. He was senile. He was showing signs of dementia. And I believe that he was being controlled and that he had no clue whatsoever what was happening. I remember he did a press conference where he was saying that he basically needed to be in the bed by 8 p.m. every night now. I remember he did a press conference where he said that he basically needed to be to bed by 8 p.m. It was shortly after the debate, right before Kamala Harris wound up becoming presidential candidate of the United States of America. He was saying that he needed to be in 8 p.m. in bed. Now, we don't know at what point he became so behind. We seen after the Trump debate, people trying to help him on stage. Obama, a lot of times when he was campaigning with him, he was pulling him and he was directing him and all of that stuff. So I do believe that Joe Biden was compromised. I do believe that he was taken advantage of the entire time, almost the entire time that he was in the White House. Now, the other thing that I believe personally, and this is just my thoughts and this is my opinion, I do not believe that we should try to challenge and remove his pardons through autopen. I believe that maybe we should modify it and make sure that the president signs everything. I think that it should be a mandate that we should remove autopen altogether, but it is a standard that has been used by multiple different presidents and we cannot change it now. I do like the fact that every executive order and everything that Trump does, it seems like he signs everything himself. So even though I do not believe that Joe Biden was doing everything that he was supposed to do, should an investigation happen? Sure, I have no problem with investigations. If you have nothing to hide, then there's nothing that should be found. But at the same time, I do not believe that we should remove his pardons, even if I don't agree with some of the pardons that he did. I think that we should keep the standards that has been happening inside of the United States of America and maybe modify and say that the president actually has to sign everything himself. And that doesn't mean that he wouldn't be manipulated or he wouldn't be taken advantage of, because Joe still could have been manipulated and taken advantage of, even if he didn't have autopen. But I do believe that we should make sure that in the future, a president signs everything. That way it's standard. That way we can verify it, that nobody can then behind the scenes be doing stuff without their knowledge, A. And then B, I also believe that we should allow for it to stand. Does not mean that he was not being taken advantage of. Does not mean that he wasn't compromised. But at this point, it's just got to be water under the bridge, because he would have to go back and, undo all of the executive orders and everything that he's done. And I just think that you just got to let that pass, and we just got to deal with the reality and move forward instead of focusing so much on what happened. All right. Again, investigation, cool. Holding them accountable, awesome. Undoing the pardons themselves, even if I don't agree with them, I do not agree with that. I think we should just let things rock out the way that it is. That's my personal opinion. I'm sure that you guys have a difference of opinion, but that is my personal opinion. Ken says, so you can commit crimes and not have to face our justice system. That's BS. What are you talking about? If they do an investigation and they realize that it was a crime that was committed, then you prosecute it. But an auto pen, the issuing and the using of an auto pen has been in use since before Biden got in office. And so this has nothing to do with not facing a justice system. That's not what we're talking about. What I'm saying is, I believe that if the president, as advertised right now, was issuing pardons via auto pen, and if the investigation finds differently, then we go down that path afterwards. But in the meantime, I do not think that just by default, because we believe that he was using an auto pen, that you should just reverse all of the pardons. That's not how it works. I do not believe that, personally. I don't believe it. Jason Bro says, I'm simping for Trump. Are y'all not listening to what I'm saying right now? I'm actually disagreeing and saying that I don't believe that the pardons should be reversed. I think y'all are broken. I do believe that y'all are broken. Come on, man. I need y'all to listen. You got 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth. Listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth. Okay? I know they're not listening, Crown. I don't understand why people don't listen. 2 things can be true at the same time, and I don't have any problem with an investigation, but as of right now, I don't think that you should undo any pardon because, again, this is a standard that was used before Biden even got into office. All right? Okay? Okay, Pumpkin? Listen. Let me read some of these. Shout out to Robert Banks. AD, play my son, daughter song, Teardrops. What? I'm not sure if I'm going to be playing any songs, but I do appreciate you for holding me down. Zena Bailey says, love your platform. Have an awesome day. Thank you, Zena. I appreciate you. Thank you for holding me down. Let me read some of these super chats. Also, Patrick Hill says, I have a business idea. Don't know to start. Any advice? That's pretty general. If you have a business idea, then try to execute on it. You can vet out any idea for less than $2,000. Rob B, I appreciate you, Rob B. Devin Braxton says, you have seen Trump sign every executive order with his own hand. I haven't seen anything. I know I seen him sign the executive orders that I seen him sign. I don't know if he's ever used auto pen before. Maybe he has, maybe he hasn't. I believe that Trump is aware of everything that he has going on. But that's just my own personal beliefs. Live Sega says, during the inauguration, they were saying he just signed more pardons, but he was at the inauguration. John Best says, the issue isn't auto pen itself. It's Biden's consent and capacity. I agree. That's why I said then let him do the investigation. Again, make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are the greatest audience on earth. Make sure that y'all tune into After Hours tonight. Yay! Tune in to After Hours a lot tonight. Somebody saying Anton moving to the left a little. No, I'm not. I'm just having an opinion and I'm being reasonable. Nah, you're moving to the left. No, I'm just using common sense and my own opinion while at the same time still holding on to conservative views and viewpoints. Contrary to popular belief, people believe that just because you are conservative or just because you vote Republican, that we don't also believe in the Constitution, that we don't also believe that people should have the right to pursue happiness and freedom of speech. I don't think that liberals should be silenced at all. I don't think that they should be deplatformed. I don't think that they should be silenced. I believe in freedom of speech. I believe that gay people should be able to sleep with whoever it is that they want to sleep with. However, I don't believe that they should be pushing the propaganda of it inside of our schools. I actually think that the lifestyle itself is not right. So, 2 things can be true at the same time. I can believe in the freedom to make the choices to do what you want to do in your own household. I don't have to agree with your lifestyle, but I don't believe in removing your rights and I don't believe in censorship. That's not moving to the left. That's actually standing on what America was built on and founded on. Because anybody, if you don't like something that somebody says, that's basically highlighting and embracing cancel culture. If you don't like something that somebody said because it don't align with what you believe at the time, you should censor them. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that. I believe that people should be able to have opinions, say what they want to say, and then we'll debate them and we'll figure it out from there. I don't have to agree with you, but it doesn't mean that I'm going to censor you. But I don't believe that you should be able to use women's bathrooms. You could dress how you want to dress. You can wear a wig. We're going to criticize you. We're going to shame you. But I don't believe you should be in women's sports. I don't believe you should be in women's bathrooms. And I don't believe we should be teaching that propaganda over to our children inside of our schools. It's a very simple concept. You have the freedom to do what you want to do as long as you're not breaking the law. And I don't think that we should be pushing this propaganda. At the same time, I don't have to agree with your choices or your lifestyle. And you don't have to agree with my choices and my lifestyle. And I don't want to be censored, so I don't want to censor other people. It's very simple. It's very, very, very simple. Okay? We are a republic governed by the Constitution. Anyways, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I think y'all are the greatest audience on earth, and I can't wait to see y'all on After Hours tonight. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.